Um, what do I think? I think to a very large extent, love and relationship as we know it, the scope has become a bit wider, in this contemporary digital age. I think unlike before, it used to be a more personal, especially when you meet people. We used to meet people in churches, at home, in our neighborhood, in personal spaces. I think the digital age has bridged the gap. Now we meet people on Facebook, we meet people on Instagram, we meet people on Snapchat, and then love ensues and develops from that.
I think one thing that social media has done is present people with so many options, really distracting. I talk about the old times growing up. When someone is interested in you, they put in the efforts. I can remember when I was much younger, that I had someone who was interested in me, and you see the efforts. I'm going to the market. He wants to follow me to the market. They put in so much effort. This person really cares about you. Then it's up to you to decide.
I'd like to add to what Leah said. I think it's true. It could be very distracting, but I think it's a two-way thing. Yeah. It's 50-50. It's what you make out of it. Like you said, anything you're looking for on social media, you want the good, you want the bad, you want fake, you want love, there's the out section, there's the dragging section. There are all kinds of things you find on social media, including their true love on social media. Of course, we know there are some couples we've seen on social media and you're like, oh, nice, I really like them. So I think it's a two-way thing. It's 50-50. It's just based on the individual. What are you looking for on social media? What are you looking to get out of it? Are you looking for genuine love, or you just want to go with the crowd? That's my opinion.
Okay, in addition to what Nnamdi said, I see social media as a tool for communication, sharing beautiful moments, and just keeping in constant will I say keeping in constant communication with a partner, so you can always reach out, as soon as it's convenient for you, reach out to your partner or something, and then you get a feedback, you get a response immediately and all of that. So it's a good tool. It's a great tool to facilitate communication as well.
Sometimes people talk about the disadvantages. As much as there are many disadvantages to social media and relationships now, there are advantages too. Like I tell people, there are people who you would not have met if not for social media.
Yeah.
And then also, when we talk about relationships and intentionality, there are people who are, as much as no one knows everything, there are people who have some sort of knowledge when it comes to navigating relationships. And those are insights that you ordinarily wouldn't get so easily. Maybe if not for social media, you have to go look for books. You may not even know such people exist for you to get that knowledge, the knowledge you need. Because sometimes dealing with people could be challenging, different emotions and all of that. So as much as we want to talk about how it could be a distraction when it comes to social media and relationships, there's so much noise out there. There are also the good parts to it. Meeting people, meeting amazing people, and then getting insights from people who maybe have been in similar situations, confusing situations in court at some point like you've been, and they found a way to deal with it in a healthy manner. So it's good. There's good and bad. It's not all bad at all.
The thing is, when I say that the media, it has bridged a lot of gap. You find out that people who, like someone mentioned, that people who would have ordinarily not been able to meet, maybe because of the location, distance, social media has made it possible. It's funny, but I met my wife on Facebook. It's crazy, but it's true.
I met my husband on Facebook.
I know a lot of people wouldn't believe it, but it actually works. I know when I talk to young people, and I'm like, your Facebook could actually, or any social media, of course, could actually be an asset to you. You don't know who you're meeting. I think people people are more concerned about, let me dress up and look good, go out. But then you forget that wherever you're going, social media also is a point of contact. And that is why you find out that people might necessarily not want to invest so much. I have friends that are not on social media. They are looking, they're single, but they don't think social media is a place they could find someone, so they don't make any investment. So I think that also in this contemporary world, that should be explored. But finally, it does have a negative side, right? And I just thought I should just add this, right? So the thing is, unlike before, now what's the word now? The experience is now heightened. The expectations are now heightened. In this generation of Facebook, Instagram, let me use a specific example, right? Now you could, meet a girl and you want to propose to her. The traditional way is you could take her out, do something you can afford, buy a ring and give her.
So you said you met your wife on Facebook, of course, and I don't know, you went to her, had her messenger DM, right? And so what was her response like initially? Was she receptive, or do you have to put in extra work to impress her, to make her talk to you? So what was it like, the first contact?
So yeah, it's funny, right? She might not want me to say this, right? But then funny enough, she slid into my DM first. That's the truth. As far back as in 2016, she had just said hi, and then myself being, I think at the point I had a lot happening in my real life that I also did not put a lot of attachment, I didn't pay much attention to the social media, and I was dating someone at the point, so I really didn't think social media could offer me anything when it came to love and relationship. So when she said hi, what people normally do is when someone slides into your DM, I know a lot of ladies do it, but I did it a lot. You first go back and check their profile, right? Check out their pictures, check out what they've been doing, what they've been posting before you can even respond. I actually did that.
Yeah.
So before I could engage her, but when we started talking, I was at the point I was in a relationship. I wasn't looking for love. That's the truth. But then she had a sense of humor that I couldn't forget. We had a very great conversation. We joked. She. I think one thing I could remember as far back as then was she had a great sense of humor. And then she didn't pursue me actively. And that's the funny thing. She actually didn't. We talked, and then, I wanted to phone busy. She didn't, there are people who say hi, they say hi again, they keep, there are people who make this sliding into DM become very troublesome and very disturbing. But then she was very casual about it. And then it was just a conversation that she started. And then it took, to be very honest with you, it took some years after. It took almost 4 to 5 years before we got back again to have a conversation, which eventually led to, the love and the relationship as we now have it, and the marriage, of course. So yes, so it wasn't fast. It wasn't automatic. It was just like, and I think, please allow me to say this. It's just like social media, Facebook, Instagram, whatever, it is just a point of contact. Just as you need to impress people physically, you also need to be able to impress people there. Just as you need to engage people, be conversational, all these things that happen outside can also happen there. It doesn't happen automatically. You don't say, oh, I met you on social media, you must be. And that's the problem, especially when we have people abusing the social media. People believe that anybody who slides into your DM must be either he's a pervert, either he's a serial killer or a ritualist. People have a lot of views, but I think you can meet anybody there. It's not compulsory that love comes out, but you can just keep a conversation. You never know where it goes. So yes, that was how it went. I don't know if I answered your question.
Oh, absolutely. In fact, you did justice to that, and thank you for sharing that personal story. And Felicia, I'm sure I'm coming your way Belly.
So mine has a dynamic behind it. My husband is actually a twin, and I knew his twin like on social media. You know how you just see one fine guy, you're crushing, you're dropping comments, trying to get attention, but I was not getting the attention from the twin brother. He would just comment, you look good. He will reply, and you're like, "Mm." So maybe he had so many girls coming his way, and then one fateful day, my messenger just beeps hi, and it's his twin brother, and I'm like, okay, if I not forget A, at least I feel B. They are twins, they're identical. So, and that was it. So I think maybe because I already had an idea of his brother, because I already eyeing his brother. I'm like, okay, let's see how this. So I was receptive, and I got gisting with him, chatting, and then at the point I even said, I God, will I say, why down? Because in a twin, there's always the one, and there's the one that was more than my power. It was the reserved one, like, okay, just go this way. So I was receptive. It was beautiful. We chatted for a while, for about a month. I'm like, okay, let me see you first. I'm not one to, this is the first time I'm actually having, every other relationship I've had not been on social media, was physical. So meeting someone, when he came, he was like, he wasn't even really coming for something serious. He just felt, with all these girls he meet on social media. But when we met and then we realized, okay, we wanted something beyond social media. And that was it. So, and then look at it, 8 years after social
Yeah.
media.
The energy was right. And so, Liz, let me ask you, how do you deal with people in your DM?
Now, there are sometimes that let me just not be in the mood. Imagine you just left a bad relationship and now you're seeing messages in your DM. Trust me, you'll not be in the right frame of mind to listen to anyone. And so it does differ. It depends on the time. It depends on how it depends on the message in my DM, really. Because I remember a couple of months back, I think sometime in June, someone sent a message, and there've been few people like that. I think most of the people I really vibe with, whether it lasted for a while or I don't know, people I really, really connect with on social media are people who dropped, in quotes, sensible comments in my inbox. Not, you cannot be meeting me and be saying hello, hi. I don't understand. How many will I
very
how
annoying.
many will I respond? I want to start. It's going to be like, I don't know, it's going to be a full-time job, maybe something I should be paid for. So it doesn't have to be a love interest or something. We could be friends. We could do business, but at least show me say you get sense.
Absolutely. I endorse that.
Yeah, so that's it for me. So it depends. I mean, I've met quite a number of persons. I'm not going to go into too much. Yeah, so it does depend.
Great. Thank you for that. Really. For that input. Chizoba, how do you handle DMers?
Generally, I'm receptive, and also it depends on the kind of message, because there are people who will send you hello, hi for years. Like, even when you respond, because at some point I do respond, okay, hi. And then let's say after 6 months, the person says hello again, and then you say hi. And at some point, I just leave it, or I say, how may I help you, please? So that at least it can prompt the person to, move forward with the conversation. But they may either say, I don't need help.
Nigerians consider it rude, though. I was about saying so.
I don't need help. What can you help me with? Some say, anything a young lady can help a man, stuff like that. And I just get tired and I just abandon it. So whenever they say their hello, hi, it's just there. So now people that come, straight to the point, okay, hi, I saw your comment here. I'm glad we are friends or something like that. It breeds room for better, more enriching conversations that we'll have, in the future. And so I follow up, with such conversations than just, minimum effort, hello, hi kind of conversations. So that's it. So I match energy for energy.
Absolutely. I often advise people, I say, social media, like Nnamdi pointed, social media is a point of contact, is a place where you meet people to further, any relationship. It doesn't have to be love relationship. So I often tell people, when you go into somebody's DM and say hi, accompany that with your purpose. What are you there for? What? Don't hi, then I will say hi. Then after 2 days, hello. No, nobody has time for that, really. Nobody has time for that. So let me move on to the next question. So and thank you all for that insight. We've all seen those couples that seem inseparable online, right? So they're everywhere. And so let's talk about some key factors like trust, communication, and striking that perfect balance between staying public and keeping things private. Yeah. So how do these elements come together in a digital era where our love lives are often on display for everyone to see? Who wants to go first?
The man,
Okay.
the man and me. Oh, yeah. take the privilege.
Who wants to go first? Who wants to nail this?
Okay. Let me say something about it. Now, the thing is, right? I think people are basically what they are in their physical life on social media. I will not lie. And what I mean really is an extrovert in real life is going to be an extrovert on social media. Now, I'll use myself as a personal experience, as an example. So, I'm an outgoing person. I've always been an outgoing person. I've always been someone who loves to share. I know, and I've gotten a lot of bashing for that from family, from friends. Sometimes they say you share too much this. But for me, I just don't know why. I think for me, life is about memories. I like to collect memories and I like to share. So I know, of course, there are negatives to that, but then it's my person to like to share. My wife, on the other hand, is a very private person. As a matter of fact, the reason why we were not able to further anything very quickly was because there wasn't so much about her. For instance, I went to her social media. It was dull. It was dull. It was boring, and that's in contrast to what mine was. I think I had pictures. I put up things. So the thing is, fast forward to marriage. People normally would expect that. I think the truth is everybody have their own school of thought, their own mindset about things. Fast forward to marriage, who I was as a single would definitely be the same person with me as a married. I'm still a sharing person. So you see a couple, I might post picture of me and my wife. I might do something, and I think some people would really say that has a negative impact. And some people would say that is who you are. Like I said, you bring what you are as a physical, what you are physically to your social. I think it's called the social media person. I think the difference between your social media person and the real life you is really not so much different. And see, the thing is, finally, let me sum. I'm trying to not stay too much. People would tell you that it's good to be private. But then the thing people do not understand, and I say this, with experience, having experience, is people who emphasize on privacy are always seeking for an opportunity to get away with what they are doing. I think that's what people don't understand. I have a lot of people who are married. I have a lot of people who are married who never posted about their marriage. And these same people are sliding into DMs on Facebook on a regular, deceiving people who probably didn't know that they are married. You understand? So I think the thing is, it has its pros, it has its cons. But for me, I think I would sit comfortably in the seat of people who believe that it is okay to share. I'm here to learn, so I'm still open for someone to tell me it's wrong, it affects your marriage or relationship negatively. So I'm here to learn. So that's my opinion. Really.
Okay, let me ask you a question, Nnamdi. So you pointed out that when you met your wife, she wasn't the sharing type. Like you couldn't even find anything about her
Yeah.
on her. So her page was more like a virgin land. And so now what happens now? So after, so you guys are married, does she maintain the same energy, or is she now sharing about you and your marriage and everything, your journey? That's one question. Number two question is, suppose what will happen? How will you what's going to be your reaction if you post all of these things, like you're the sharing type, and your wife doesn't post, probably because she's not the posting type? Would you have a problem with your partner being the opposite?
That's a good question. So so the thing is, my wife, I think that at the beginning, right after, so I proposed to her, right, and it was really nice. I took her to a nice place.
Okay.
I even made a video out of it.
Okay, I wanted to ask that question: if the proposal was private or public?
So it was private, but it was romantic. So how I did my proposal, right? So I'm a lover of romance, right? I watch movies a lot. So I did not want my proposal to be vague. I didn't want my proposal to be, put ring inside her ice cream and then hope she doesn't choke on it. I wanted it to be beautiful. So back then I was in, I was working. I've been in Abuja. So in Abuja, I Googled up I think I found it on Instagram, romantic site for engagement. Now, I wanted to cut my coat according to my size. So I couldn't buy her a G-Wagon. No, sorry, not G-Wagon now. What was the latest car now? On the proposal, I didn't have so much, but I knew that if I had maybe 100K or maybe less than that, I could plan my proposal around the money I had. The thing is, beautiful. It doesn't need to be expensive, but I knew it could be beautiful. So I tried contacting a lot of vendors. The first person I contacted wanted to cut my neck, and I said no. I knew I didn't have, because there was a lot I needed to do. If you propose to a lady, of course, you should also plan on going to see her people. So I knew there were a lot of things to set out money for. So eventually I was able to find this nice restaurant that I asked them. I just needed a private dinner. I'm not going to bring friends and feed them. I just wanted to, it's going to be an intimate affair. I'm going to ask her personally, marry me, so that if she says no, I would know that I can move on. Because people put people in the public gaze, and then they force them to say yes. And then even if she doesn't want to say yes, everybody's saying say yes, say yes, say yes. So you
I've
don't
seen
know
that a lot of times, yeah.
I used to swear for such people. Don't tell me what to say.
I don't even understand why you clapping, say yes, yeah. Like
so what so now that puts a lot of pressure on her. So you don't know if she is saying yes to your proposal to spend life with you, or she just wants to not fall your hand in public. But quickly, let me just answer the question, because I've already spent time on the. So the thing is, till now she's really not. So after I did the proposal, imagine I had pictures, I had videos, I posted, she didn't post. I put it everywhere, she didn't. So at some point, it was something I wanted to fight over. It was something I needed us to, like confront her. Baby, are you not proud of me? Am I not man enough? Are you not, So, but the thing is, I would say this with all sense of modesty, being the fact that I am someone who has a relatively comfortable view of myself. I didn't think it was because I was not man enough. I also joked about, and I told her, you don't know what you have. You have a man, a proper man. I was expecting for you to blind pepper the single on your status, put me everywhere. But you're not doing that. Or is there a man somewhere that you're not telling me about? That kind of thing. But eventually, I found out that it's just not her person. As a matter of fact, if she could control me, she would make sure I don't post at all. Right? If I could control her, I told her, you know what, let me be your social media manager. Let me post your, because she takes pictures, and the pictures are lying on her phone. Nice pictures. And I'm like, post. She's like, no. So it's still that, I think relationship is not between two people who are similar or who are, the exact same. I think it's understanding your differences. So in essence, in conclusion, she's still not that person. she eventually posted, please, and I need to clarify that because she's somewhere here pushing me to tell me, remember to say that I posted eventually. Because she's also
I
part of
love
this.
that.
So, but the thing is, I think understanding the differences, I'll still be a person who posts. Maybe not as much because maybe life happens and I get busy, but she's still not that person. So she struggles to post sometimes, but that basically is it's the difference that makes our relationship unique.
Big deal. Normally, sef, I really don't post so much about myself. So, but even if I were to be the posting type, it's not a big deal. That's their own person. So,
So you would never ask yourself like, are you sure there's no skeleton in his cupboard? Like, why is he not posting all our beautiful moments?
someone that's not good is not good. So, even if after posting, if he still wanted to go ahead to cheat, he would do that despite me being his profile picture. So,
His
that's just it.
wallpaper.
So there are a lot of married, folks that have, pictures of their maybe them and their partners as their DP, and then they chat single guys, single women up, and still run the package they want to run at the end of the day. So even if they are posting every day and they still want to be wicked, they will still be wicked. But for me, I don't see it as a big deal. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. So that's just it.
Oh, great. So in essence, you would trust him 100% if he doesn't even post anything about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what
Okay,
I would.
great. Thank you for that input. And Felicia,
Yep.
so shoot.
Well, what I think is, like she said, it's their own opinion. We are all different. Like you said, we are two different people coming to make something work. I don't know you from Adam, you don't know me. We're trying to make it work. So if he's not going to post, I used to be a posting person. I don't know that it's old age or maturing. I just realized I just lost the fear for posting. So even when we got married, pictures, and I don't post, and then he will look at me like, this is not you. Before you're always, I say, guy, life have happened to me. I don't have strength. I have so many things I'm thinking about right now. My husband is someone that posts out when it's happening. He just posts it and that's it. Me now, I can hold that thing, keep it for like after like some months. I say, hey, I have this picture. Let me just throw it, broom,
Go back.
throw it again. I remember when we got married, he posted picture, he did a video. I was just looking at it. On my wedding day, so there's this thing I always do. There's this December challenge. I always do 31 days, thankful for every day like that. On the day I was getting married, 23rd, I still wrote there, thank you for blessings, thank you for no wedding pictures, no that on my wedding day. I was seeing people were posting everything like, are you not the one getting married? But it's other people that posted up there. I said they are posting, let them help me. So I am not the posting at that moment. I posted. So if he's not posting, there's no big deal. If he's posting, it's his own. So I think, like you said, it's indifferent. The only place I think it would be a problem is if he's not understanding. Like, imagine I used to post and then we got married and I'm not posting it. If you don't trust the person, it looks fishy. Like, come, what happened? Are you not proud of me? Why all of a sudden you're not posting me? It becomes very fishy there. So it takes understanding to just realize that it's not that I'm not trusted, I'm not proud of you, but I don't even want it. And then sometimes there are some moments that you don't even capture the moment. Some of these beautiful moments you don't even remember cameras at that point. There's so many moments I've had with my husband, there are no cameras. And then I try to remember, I say, we don't have a picture that we took here. We don't have. So those are the things. That's why I don't tie it to being public. If you post, if you don't post, my own is, yeah, my husband, but when I need your attention, you're there. No wahala. Chicken.
Thank you for that. So Elise, so could you share?
Just like Felicia said, this is something that changed when we got together. That's something I might probably consider. But if it's always been like that, I'm really indifferent. Are you acting weird, out of place? Are we good? If we are good, I really do not care. For me, the reverse is the case because I'm actually the one that is a private person. I'm someone who could go on vacation and forget to take pictures. It's that bad, you know. So I'm not a picture person. I rarely do pictures. I really like a private life. I'm someone who typically likes to be at the background. So I really don't care for noise, and I really do not care. However, he Namdi did mention something, so I was grateful when he talked about his wife, because some people might think because you're not posting and putting your partner out there, it means you're being sneaky. That's not the case at all. As I got older, I got to understand the difference between being private and keeping something a secret. So I'm not going to keep my significant other a secret, definitely, but it's private. The people who care about me, the people I care about, know about this person, and that's good enough for me. I don't need strangers butting into my business. Really, like, just it's a lot of noise to me. So I'm really indifferent. I'm not a social media person, so I'm fine whether you post or you don't post to. So far as we are good, that's all
Past
that
knows
matters.
where it is, yeah. And nobody knew I was dating anyone. But then I met a partner who was the posting type. So during our talking stage, I remember his birthday came up and he, he blasted his page with, all of that, which was good. So I went there to the page to type happy birthday, but it was I typed in a way that you would even know that me and this person, we have something going on. So subtle. And that was what I wanted, because I naturally don't post to let people know who. My goodness, I didn't hear the last of it. He came and said, what's that thing that you that comment? What is that thing you commented?
What did you write? Happy birthday, dear.
I think it
No
was not
emoji, no love struck.
nothing to the point, because I wasn't even sure if it was going to be us at the end of the day or something like that. And anyway, but what happened was, I think I started to bend because I saw someone who had issues with you not posting about him. And I thought, okay, it doesn't really hurt if I start to even reciprocate. Okay. So I started to post, you see. But lately I decided that I'm not posting anymore. Let me go back to factory setting. Let me reverse. I'm not doing all of that. So let me just be me and embody me. So anyway, so that's Nnamdi pointed out that his wife is not the posting type. Why he was, and he would, he would poke at her to go and post. So I had similar experience. So yeah, it's all good.
Can I add
Yes, please. Yeah.
Okay, so when people who do PDA, like public display of affection, a lot, after some time you notice that they tend to overshare some people. So even if they were posting probably a certain content or just limited content of their partner, you notice that with time, more information is being divulged. They tend to like write so much. Even some of their partners might not necessarily want the information out there. But you see these people, they write, they, tell it all. So for me, that's like infringing on your partner's privacy for me. So it's just better you don't post, or if you're posting, let it just be a limited, content, or limited to a particular area of your partner's life. Then also, I don't know, for those of you that are active on Facebook, there was this recent drama that was last week of this lady who seriously came out to make a post to warn all the people that were sending her husband friend requests.
Oh, I saw that somewhere.
Exactly. So probably she too does PDA, and I think it was from a tagging. She tagged her husband, maybe whatever post it was, and then influx of friend requests to the husband, and then the said husband went ahead to accept the friend request, interact with the people and all of that. So the woman was very furious, and she was saying, why would you do, like, why would people, of course women, send her husband friend requests and all of that, that if not for how her and her husband flows, she wouldn't have known of such information and all of. And in my head I'm like, the onus of accepting or declining the Facebook request lies on your husband. So if he was, you know, very strong about his principle, he would have just declined. What is a friend? Decline it, and life goes on. And then the person who is coming out to warn people is now you. What for? So just imagine if she's not this kind of person that posts or tags her husband. Who would have known her? Who would even, send the man friend request? So he who gathers the firewood should anticipate the ants, something like that. So that's it.
Bagam.
Personally, right? Um, I'm just going to jump in. I love PDA, right? But not on social media. Waiting concern me on social media. PDA in person.
Yeah.
It is not to show people. I want to do my thing with my significant other. I really don't like a bunch of strangers in my business. There was a question you asked initially. You talked about celebrities, that have their business out there and how they manage their relationships and all of that. I can't relate being a private person, but then again, I think that if a relationship has a solid foundation, which I am of the opinion that most relationships in quotes these days do not have, I stand corrected. If there is a solid foundation, your partner, there should be some sort of agreement. So even if you're putting stuff out there, maybe based on pressure, because that's what is expected of you as a celebrity, you decide what to put out there. So you don't put out too much. You could create content. You could make your page or whatever interesting without necessarily putting out your business. Because just like she mentioned, once you start it, you just keep going on and on and on. A lot of people get carried away by validation, from social media, from strangers. So you don't even know when you've crossed the line. You just keep going on and on and on.
And then, as you keep going on, you wouldn't want to stop because you think if you stop,
yes, it's like a drug. It's like a high.
Relationship is over. That something is wrong.
The funny thing is, at this stage, you now have one small people that will call themselves shippers. They have one page for you to be fueling it. Oh God, when association, the our people
pressure.
they are role model couple to these people, and then before you know it,
all of that.
when my husband breakfast in the morning, this is how I welcome him from work. This is how we arrange the bed to sleep. Next thing, you are showing this is the type of sex position I give my husband. Before you know it, boom, is out there. And that is why whenever there's now a little misunderstanding between them, it now goes boom. Because so much is out there, you cannot even shield. People will already start telling you, let's say this one and the husband don't fight too. We know they see. Well, that's it. You've done too much. They don't respect. See those people outside. They don't care. They don't care. It's just what you feel.
They want to be entertained.
Yes.
So they don't really care about you.
Your happiness.
See, I'm just going to say one thing. In my opinion, like my nieces, I told them something. They are over 18 now. I said you don't have a business being on social media till you have a mind of your own. You do not. You need to have a mind of your own because you're going to see a lot of trash. I saw there was a post, someone, I can't remember who, my Facebook, I just logged in my usual, I'll just log in spy and then log off. So you see, there's so much toxicity. There's so much toxicity. It's easy for you to get swayed by the wind. This one go talk, you go this side. This one go talk, you go this side. You not get balance. So if you don't have a mind of your own, know yourself. This is who you are. This is what you want. In short, if I'm putting out content, I have a reason for putting out this content. See, it's blown away by the wind. And of course, it's going to affect you. Absolutely. It will affect not just a relationship, it will affect even you. Because, I mean, when you're like a house with no foundation, any little huff and puff, you just get blown away.
You blown away. Full legs. Okay.
Something.
So,
can I?
Demographic of people that are quite, I would say, unlucky with love. So let's say in a situation, such a person, displays publicly their affection for their partner on social media, and let's say it doesn't work out. Now, we the friends and followers on Facebook, we've seen this person's partner. Okay, it didn't work out. Let's say after 3-4 months, the person presents another person, and then it doesn't work out. And then, so you've been you've been following this person for like 3 years and you've seen like 4 partners already. It doesn't make sense for me. So it's just better the person waits till marriage so that, okay, since you're the PDA type, oh yeah, this is your permanent partner, oh yeah, display the affection rather than, because I've followed someone like that on Facebook, and I felt so much. How would I put it? I grieved in my heart for her because I couldn't just imagine what she was going through. Presenting us with this person, and then it didn't work out. Maybe the person, she would even go ahead to like say what exactly caused the problem. He cheated on me. I'm done with him. Over to the next. And she's over to the next person.
Can I say something? Okay, sorry, Lisa. So I wanted to say two things. First, I want to say is there are some things that are not wrong in itself, but then it's wrong because of the parties involved. In this posting, I think I have my own experience. So before I got married, I dated someone for 4 years. 5 maybe. But the thing is, for the period of the marriage, I wasn't posting cozy pictures of us, but then I did not fail to post on her birthdays. So people who were close to me knew I was dating this person. And then, things happen. We didn't work out. When I eventually proposed to my wife and I posted it, some people were tagging her. It was that crazy. Yeah. So I had to block and remove a couple of people because what they did was someone came and said, "Oh, congratulations to you, Namdi. We were hoping it would have been so person."
And they tagged her.
They tagged her. Yeah. So I quickly deleted and I unfriended. Now, so I understand how these things can feel. Also, secondly, I would also share this one, right? And I think I'm going to say this because growth. I think it was Felicia that said that growth happens to us at some point. Like you also, Ada. I know there was a point where you are the posting person. You posted a lot.
Pepper in the eyes.
I was blasting.
The swimming pool, the everything.
Vacation to vacation, I was blinding people.
Yeah, beautiful, honestly speaking. So as much as it had negatives, it also had an inspirational value for some. Like I said, things are not entirely bad because of it. It's people that make things look as if it's bad. Now, another experience I had was I posted my wife a while ago. So before I got married, I had a lot of fans. Let's just say it like that. I had a lot of fans. So I had ladies, commenting on all the pictures I post, saying cool stuff.
Now.
So the negative thing was, now the thing is, I was posting that my ex, and then I started posting my wife. And now some people would always want to rub it in, right? So some people would make, and also because of human beings, I think I want to quickly say this so I don't emphasize so much on it. It also has to do with the people involved. I remember there was a certain comment someone made on a picture I posted of myself and my wife. And the comment, depending on how you interpret it. Oh yeah, you saw the comment. You did.
Oh, I saw the comment. It was a recent comment.
Yes, it was a recent comment.
I saw it.
What you would not believe in, as much as the person made the comment on Facebook, it created a little tension in my relationship with my wife, because then she was offended by that, and then I had to explain. If I explain tire, they say you go explain tire. Yeah. And the comment the person made was, they say love is blind. It's funny. It's something that someone like me, I overlooked. But my wife, because each post I make, she doesn't post though, but she will go and read all the comments and see who is saying. She might not comment there, but she would have seen everybody's comment. And she saw that one comment and it offended her.
And
Yeah.
she said,
I would be offended myself. I would be.
she was like, what is that person saying? Now, initially, I had just I did a rebuttal, but I wasn't serious about it. I just said, oh, this one, I enter the market. Like, I wanted to just say something. Love is blind does not apply to me in my marriage. But apparently, my wife was looking at it in the sense of, oh, is this person trying to say that I'm not good enough? Is this person trying to say that this one? It brought I told my wife, this is an unnecessary fight, that the person who made this comment, I don't know what her purpose is, but she has finally put fire between the both of us. And so it's funny how the things that happen in the public space in this social media can also have a ripple effect on our relationship. And I think at that point, I personally, what I probably would take away from that now is, as much as I'm a posting person, but because I cannot exactly control what people do, and most importantly, I cannot control how my wife would interpret a lot of things. So for me, it might be safer, you understand, to not put everything out there.
Mhm.
But then the thing, and I want to say this finally, the thing is, we should also understand that people are unique, right? I think one thing that makes relationship work is when you don't force your personality on another person. I remember telling my wife, I was making this post when you slid into my DM. There's a 100% tendency that you saw my pictures and you started feeling the man, and then you slid in. And so that was me before we married. Now that we are married, I understand you want me to now become like you. But now the place of understanding is very important. Like I love every single person here, the ladies, or sorry, the females here, you would say that I'm a private person, I'm a private person, I'm a private person. But let's assume I didn't marry the kind of, I've met people, I've also dated some who were the public, the social media person. If you don't post them, you will fight. You must post me, you must show all this. I had a particular girl who made sure I posted her every time. To her, she was trying to make a statement. She wanted to reduce the number of crushers. She wanted to tell them that I am still here. So occasionally she wanted to post me. I say, you post me. Let me guys see those that are viewing it. You understand? So it's also important to understand that it also depends on the parties involved. But I also think that there's a certain wisdom, in being able to regulate these things. Let me stop here.
Absolutely. I like that last, yeah. Because moderation is key. And especially when, it's no longer just you have a partner. So you have to also consider their feelings, towards certain things on social media. So, and that's brilliant. And thank you for that. Any other input before we move on to the next? All right. So, we are talking about PDA, I'm happy that, one or two persons brought it up. And so, we've seen it all, okay? The overly mushy captions, the non-stop selfies, even the impromptu couple photo shoots. So, but how does sharing too much personal info online actually affect the dynamics of a relationship? Do you think people overshare their love lives online? Or you think they're just being normal, like, hello, it's social media. So what's your take on that?
I would think people that share so much because you're seeking online validation. Nobody is stopping you from doing your PDAs and all. Like she said, yes, she likes, every lady loves PDAs. There's a public display of affection and there's a personal display of affection. I would call it a personal. Let it be me and you display it, but not a public thing. So sharing so much, putting your whole life out there is like, why are you putting it there? Definitely is for viewers. You're not just posting it because you just want to put a blank picture there. There's an expectation. You're expecting comments, you're expecting likes, you're expecting reaction. And for every reaction, there's consequence. So like Nani just said, the comment his wife saw on a post he made, it can either make or mar the relationship. So if you know that, this social media, especially if you now have a circle of there's some bunch of, I don't want to say useless, there's some silly ass people on social media that it is only the negative. Their own is only the negative narrative. They always wanting to find fault. And also, when you know that your social media is not controlled, you don't have like, I'm very selective when I accept requests. My Instagram page is on private. My pages are on private. I am very selective. I don't want one nuisance coming to spew nonsense in my page. So when you know for celebrities now, they don't have that control. They have to feed the public. That is why you see when they have these issues, it might just be one little thing, but one small comment would aggravate the whole thing. So I feel posting so much PDAs online, random selfie pictures, you can actually do it. If you're doing it for the memories and for the love, trust me, it doesn't even need to be online. But if you're doing it for validation online, by then that is carry it on. There are some people that have beautiful minds. You won't even believe it if they tell you it's a lie. But they are enjoying it. But because you don't see it in your head now, this one like say
let's say a ground no level for end, not
or something. Do you understand?
Sure, for his side.
Yeah. So those kind of reasons, and do it once in a while. It's not bad because somehow you could just be motivating one single person out there. Like, okay, there's still love outside. But when you constantly do it, it's like you're rubbing it. You will yet even I think recently now it's no longer God. How is the single people saying, "I beg, make we see road, or let us breathe." It is now too much that they've choked
single breathe.
the single breathe. They've choked the people too much that they don't even, like. You know what? Make una leave this space for una. Put it once in a while. It's always good. We all love to see beautiful things, beautiful moments, but limit it. Like you said, moderation is key. Anything you're doing, moderation.
There was a couple
at that point I posted. Somebody might be going through a serious heartbreak, and that's the time you want to go and post. Oh, my husband made me breakfast in bed, and I'm opening your post with my tears and my heartbroken heart, and the first thing I'm seeing is they are serving at that breakfast in bed. I will remember my life and my heartbreak and go back and start crying again. So let's be considerate when we are preparing these single people too.
Is it possible? Sorry, is it? It's man. First is I want to thank you for this. I think I'm enjoying. And what you might not see is that my wife is lying down on my laps and she's enjoying it too.
Of course, because she's lying on your laps.
Sorry, I see that's the thing.
You just had to
I did not mean to do this.
Have you seen? Do you see the reaction?
Yes. I just had to.
Did you not hear when I was introducing him? When he's not working or studying, he's spending time with his wife.
And that is it.
That is what is in the street. I mean, this is Nnamdi, so you can't.
However, I decided to put pepper in her eye.
That will remind us. You already said it the first time. My wife is nudging me to vindicate her that she posted. Now, my wife is lying on my lap.
Okay, no, okay.
My wife is massaging me.
My apologies. But the thing is, of course, the complexities of this environment, especially here in England, is, man, you don't understand how you don't have time, and how I think marriages. I think it's also something I'm sure that subsequently would look into how this environment can actually affect marriages negatively. Work, everybody's going to work. My wife also works, so she basically most nights she's not here. And then, so those little, you find out that the few moments you have, you want to make it count because the next thing everybody's off.
Quick
you
one.
Understand?
This few moments you have, imagine you now to this small 10, 20 minutes, you want to now snap it and post it. Usually that it doesn't even make sense. You're supposed to be cherishing the small moment.
Yeah. And I think that brings me back to what I actually wanted to say. I think you mentioned about validation. People post for so many reasons. Now, as much as I'm a realist, I don't like to conclude that things are bad because of the consequences or things are good because it's uplifting. Like there's a middle course. Let's also not forget that there are content creators on TikTok, on Instagram who make marriage beautiful. And let me also tell you now, we're living in a day and age where people don't believe a lot in marriages anymore. A lot of people feel marriages are scam. A lot of people don't believe in love. People, especially when you have celebrities keep breaking up, doing things. Today someone is married, tomorrow he's not married again. A lot of young people believe the worst about marriages. And of course, you also know here, especially in England, they don't believe in marriages. They do not believe in marriages. I was shocked that someone can be a partner to someone all their life and they never got married. You're my partner, and you see. So the arrangement is so different. So I wouldn't even lie that sometimes having people who inspire or make marriage beautiful can actually be a breath of fresh air. I would not even lie. And I understand that it also has some negative consequences. But when I go on Instagram, I look out for couples who make marriage beautiful. I understand they are being paid for the contents they create, but sometimes I just go and I admire it. And sometimes I just want to replicate some of the things they do in my marriage. My wife doesn't post a lot, but I know she loves those kind of things too. It has some advantages. You can learn. You can be inspired. The thing is, you don't have control over people. I've given up on people. You can't trust that people would be rational all the time. You can't not everybody in your life is sensible. So I cannot navigate my life, conduct my life so that I will not affect your please, I'm trying to find a very nice way to say it. So I cannot conduct my life in such a way that someone who is a psychopath, someone who is just looking for who to get angry at. So I'm trying to live in such a way, I don't want to offend you. Oh, so I don't want to offend you. That is also me limiting my life. Do you get? As much as there are people who would interpret it, there's also people who are inspired. So for me, in conclusion, I like to focus on the positives. I won't even lie. It has its negatives, but of course it has its positives. That's why if someone raises his or her ugly head on my post on Facebook, I block them. I remove them. Just like in life, I don't keep any kind of friend. If you're negative, you can't be my friend. On social media too, if you're negative, you can't be my friend. Carry your negative somewhere else where it is appreciated. So yes, the point is, I think as much as there are negatives, I think it also has inspirational values for some.
So some people are of the opinion that couples that post a lot that they are happy are not actually happy, they are faking it. So do you think there's some truth in that or not?
No, I would like to say not necessarily. Like you said, there are some people that are content creators. It might just be on a business. So some people just do it naturally. If you're lucky, you meet somebody that likes to post, you both like to post. Match made in here, two of you together. It's part. So I don't think 80% is to an extent is true, because to fake happiness. Well, I don't know for people, but to me, it is hard to fake happiness. Like, it is very hard. I know some people find it very easy. There's so much fake life on social media, but I don't want to believe that happy couples are actually not on social media. No. There are few happy couples, and then the ones that will say, okay, maybe when you now start, like you said, there's moderation here. When you now start doing too much, me and you say if they call me in the night, they cry, but the next morning, oh, the crown of my head, my sunshine, my joy, my armor in shining sword. What I had a friend like that. I was going through relationship issue. Behind, I was consoling, but in the morning, I'm praising this guy, and I'm like, if there's anything I don't do is marriage, relationship, I don't used to involve myself. They say, no, don't you ever get mixed up. But when they settle, they will discuss you on the bed. Like, Nnamdi and his wife will still go attack Lali. You say she's putting her head on her husband's lap. You understand? So I don't want to believe to an extent that is 100% true. Maybe some, but not all. Happiness is not a bad thing. Say person happy, showing happiness. Like Nnamdi said, it's just expressing yourself. So not to it is even the people that are saying that happy people are not on social media, the people that are not happy. Waiting themselves then they find there. That's it.
Oh, that point too. Yeah.
I don't think it's a one size fits all. There are people who are really happy people and they enjoy posting. two people who enjoy posting. They're just doing their thing. Really, they're living their lives. For some others, it might just be in code like an alter ego. That's really not their life, what their life is about, but that's what they wish it would be. So it's really not a one size fits all. And whether they're happy or not, doesn't concern you. Now you're married, now your relationship. So
All
really just it's really it's not, they should just live their lives. If it does inspire you, take the good out of it and run with it. See, there are two things I want to talk about. One is that some people, I don't want to say so many, do not have a life, in quotes. So they live their lives through you. That is why they are so invested in your relationship. You see all these, maybe all these BBN fans, you then go there, people will not even know say you exist. You ready to comot person, I punch person because your fave, the person is talking in some way about your fave. If you think about it logically, to make sense like that. But for them, maybe there's just something, because I don't think someone who has a good life, you have a healthy life, I don't think you'll be invested in some stranger's business so much. Yes, you could admire the person from a distance, but when there's so much info, it's like, hello, are you okay?
They carry the matter like Ghana.
Like, see, he passed Gala safe. So that's just it. So some of them, they really do not have a life, so they live it through you. That's why they're so invested. You should have married this person. That's the most ridiculous thing. Like, really, what?
Yeah.
It probably is the next. But before she comes back, I don't know if she's back yet. Can you hear me?
No, she's not back yet. Yes, yeah, we can hear you.
There was something she said that there's something she said. I just wanted to build on a bit. She said something about alter ego. It's funny, right? But I post my wife. Funny enough, I don't post on Facebook as much as I post on my WhatsApp status. Why? Because I believe that it's the people who are closer to me that are on my WhatsApp. So I tend to post much more funny, funky stuff there, right? Unlike Facebook that I don't have control over. I think I have a particular control over my WhatsApp to a larger extent. And the thing is, as much as I post my wife, I find out that I post that more when we're fighting. I post that a lot more. You understand what I'm saying? When we're having issues, it's funny. We might have a disagreement, or we're arguing about something. We haven't seen our way through the fight. And then I'm posting her, and then I'll post, "You're so sweet." Oh, my wife. So she will go and see it. Do you understand what? So for me, right? It's almost calling the things that be not as if it is. You understand? So the thing is, as much as she will see it, I will see it. Before you know it, you're trying to make a point. She's getting the point. So for me, it's really not about who. It's not even about people anymore. I don't care what they think. I'm trying to gain my way back into the heart of my wife so that she can drop this small argument that we're having. And, I go back or you post a video of happy times. And then you look at the video and it reminds you of something that used to be. She looks at the video too. Something in her will smile. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So sometimes it happens that people post these things as a way of helping themselves through difficult times. It's also possible that people also post it genuinely because they are happy. But whatever reason it is really nobody's business. The most important thing is what works for you and your spouse. As a matter of fact, I think growth happens to us all. The way I'm even seeing it, I think we probably will get to a point where we just don't feel the need to post. Even the people who post every day, they'll get to a point where they're like,
By that point,
you will be reminded that your spouse that used to post all the time, you don't post. But sometimes you are engaged in the moment, you're enjoying the moment so much that you don't have time to bring out phone and record. Sometimes that's a stress on its own. So since Liz is back, I think let me leave her to continue.
Oh, hi. Apologies. That's Nigerian network doing its thing. So yeah, I got a little bit of what she said. I wanted to talk about when it comes to this issue of posting and all of that. In a way too, this might take us totally off, but love is a beautiful thing, right? However, for you to really love, for you to be open to it, you have to be vulnerable.
Mm.
You know, and a lot of people are scared. You know, like when you called me, when you talk this conversation, I was like, relationships. Do I really want to talk about it? And that's it for so many people. We all want it. We are social beings. Everybody who doesn't want to be loved, please. I have not met anyone who doesn't want to be loved. I have met people who are scared of opening themselves up to love because they've been burnt. Some not just their fingers, some like some part of, in short, their whole body has been burnt.
Amen.
So they don't want you, you know, the inevitable, like what if it doesn't work? So they shy away from it, you know. And when it comes to social media, see, there's so many things out there. There are people who are broken, and then the kind of comments they leave under your posts, if you're not careful, you will just absorb the nonsense that they're putting out. They are bitter, they are upset, they are angry, they are not mad at you, really. They are mad at themselves, at their experiences, their life. So, see, I think when it comes to displaying, you know, PDA on social media, the only way to work for me, what I think is if you've developed a heart of steel, like, you know, send. You just want to celebrate your partner, put it out there, and leave. Whatever anybody says or no concern, it just bounces off you. That's the only way to work. And if you've attained that level of I'm not sure what to call it, then kudos to you. Go ahead. It's not a bad thing, really. Some people are just careful, especially for those who are not married yet. If I come put out this bubble, what if you know come work? People will now come and batch me. People will now come and
That
you
big
know,
receipt.
people, yeah, people are just scared. But if you feel do am, and you know send, I beg, later our pages, just be dropping it. It's fine. Those who are heartbroken, even if I'm crying for my relationship just break up, if I log in, I see him. If you pay me too much, I come out, sir. I'll come back when I feel better.
Yeah.
Social media, one thing it does is that it opens you up to so many challenges, right? You and your both of them, you're you're humans, you know, different backgrounds. You already have your differences. You're trying to navigate this relationship, this thing you have. And then when you put it on social media, other people come in without invitation. They drop comments. Some go into your inbox. I know this babe, she they date one of my neighbor. You know, I know this. You get, she been don't do a bush. It be like say, so it opens you up to so many things. So if you're not careful, like I mentioned, I talked about foundation. If you don't have a solid foundation, it's an easy way for you to say, you know, it's in. It be like say this girl, why do you look? It be like say, you know, let's just go separate. You know, that feeling comes in you. There's this bias. You begin to look at your partner some way, even when, if at all, you open it up to some sort of conversation and they're trying to tell you, no, this is not what it is. This is actually what it is. You're like, can I really trust you? So that's basically what it is for social media. So social media it's not like it's one, like you said, it's not a person in quotes that will come and destroy it. No, it's social media destroys a relationship that doesn't have a good foundation for starters. It just makes the breakup faster and easier.
I remember the quote that made me laugh so much, and I actually think it actually says a lot. The quote would say, "You know that relationship where I've been the hide before I be, where no one posts me, no spoil, you don't spoil."
I've seen that.
Hide them,
People think social media jinxes, you know, not just relationships. If something is coming to you, don't post about that admission. Don't post about that if you are pregnant. That's why people don't post themselves when they're pregnant.
I think it's just this African mentality thing. You know how we already grown up. We don't tell anybody. Keep
that
it secret.
superstitious element going on.
So we have all just taken it like, don't tell anybody you are pregnant, you will finish your 9 months journeys. When you've delivered, you now come and anybody that posts pregnancy picture, just when the person has put to bed.
Even
I
the ones
swear.
even the ones that deliver will now show one finger.
Or people who used to post pictures and stop posting pictures after marriage,
They're
just know they're
pregnant.
pregnant.
You know,
They've carried belly.
after I got my like recently, I have not actually really posted any picture. And then on my birthday, as usual, everybody will post. And I posted a picture just because I was wearing a big sweatshirt. And somebody's like, no wonder we have not seen you, Junior. I'm like, I don't understand. So sometimes those are the reasons why people don't even want to post. Some people might actually be trying to conceive, going through issues. And then me posting, there are people that the monitoring spirit are monitoring. How far? When are we expecting? It could be depressing for some people.
Yeah.
Why some people choose aside the narrative of they can come and jinx it, they can come and no, you don't want anybody to be part of that journey because rather than console you, they are even giving you pressure. There's more pressure to it. Imagine I was actually trying to conceive and having issues, and then people are already slamming me left and right with this and this and that. I'll start feeling bad. Next thing, depression. Next thing, this UK will be like say you're your own in this country. Next thing you know, suicide. It's just a very small line. So I think social media is like a force. They just gather like an army. Oh yeah, we are waiting with gun to shoot. Once you bring once you just bring one thing, there's a group that is analyzing the bad side. There's the good ones that and then there's some that are ready to shoot. So people don't so when I was getting married, I'm one of those that I didn't really post pictures of my relationship during the period, even till my marriage and all that. And people were like, why are you posting? Mine was not out of fear of they were going to jinx because I have tested fire, water, brimstone, the relationship has stood. So it's not social media that will now come and scatter it at that point. UK, like Lee said.
Social media don't bath.
You don't understand. Like Lee said, social media just makes it faster. It was going to still spoil. I just didn't want, it was not a matter of fear, it was a matter of privacy. So aside the African part of not posting because of fear, social media, social media is a very powerful tool. No use and play. It's a very, very, very powerful tool. It can either make you or mar you. You can put it up. Okay, like recently, like there's a post I saw of, I think it's from my side in Akwa Ibom, a married woman that was getting married to a pastor, and then he tagged him like, she has kids for me already, and she's getting married to. So imagine that lady, and that's because she had posted her wedding pictures. So they've seen, you won't go marry, you don't leave this one. Imagine she didn't post it. The wedding would have gone on quietly, everything would have ended, nobody would have yet pim. So social media ends.
Yeah.
Don't leave them. It's a force. Like they just gather army, they just waiting for food. Bring it, let's eat. That's their own.
Let's leave out him. So let's talk about long distance relationships. Okay. We can agree that it's a much more common type of relationship. Yeah, it's very common these days, more than ever before. So, and we all know that sticking together from afar presents its unique set of challenges. Okay, with so many picture perfect couples online, could this exposure harm long distance lovers? And do you think social media creates unrealistic expectations for those separated by distance? What are your thoughts?
Let me say something there. So, okay, sorry. Liz, you wanted to say something? Hello?
Oh, I'm laughing. When it comes to long distance relationship, honestly, in my opinion, I think there are more cons than pros when it relates to social media, and that is my own opinion. However, it's something that you can navigate if you're intentional. I personally like to, I talked about knowledge. There's this popular pastor, I think Pastor Kingsley something, that talks a lot about relationships and marriages. Now, does he have all the blueprints? I don't think so. But he says some things that I actually agree with, some things, some beliefs that I align with. So I try to, just get a little bit of insight here and there. There are times it's easy, you feel lonely, you feel like, what is your partner doing over there right now? jealousy can easily creep in. They say they are going somewhere. Are you sure that is where they are going to? So there's a lot of emotions and there are so many things. But
I would say now, right? So my own view on the matter. So the thing is, we did a lot of WhatsApp at the beginning. We did a lot of video calls. There was some point. It was never boring at any point. Anyway, probably did it get boring at any point? But the point is, you will get to a point where you probably want initiatives, right? You want to know, how do we spice this up further? So sometimes we found out that sharing things on social media was almost, would I call it, our love language. We're constantly sharing videos on Instagram, videos of people, married couples who probably live to be 80 or 90. We were sharing things to ourselves. There were videos especially on TikTok, when they will keep talking about long distance relationships when we finally see each other. There were just things we kept doing. Then she also went on I think it was Instagram, and saw a couple who said, oh, they dated for a long distance. These are some of the things to do to help keep what's it called again? To spice up your long distance relationship. So there were things we learned. You can see movies, for instance. She came up with this idea I thought was weird. We could see a movie together. With my phone, we're seeing a movie. She's seeing a movie from where she is. We can talk about the movie. So there were things that made sense. So for us, really, it was a positive force, really. Does it have negatives? Of course, everything that has positives would have negatives, but sometimes it can actually be positive. It can actually, so it was positive for us.
So, Nnamdi, so while you guys were navigating the distance, what was the frequency of communication?
I would not lie, it was a lot. She shot my MB finish. So first, at the point, I was in Nigeria. I was still in Nigeria. So then, of course, you people in the abroad will not understand what God has done for you. But I can't, this you can. I used to buy. So before we started talking frequently, I can't remember the plan I used to do, but it used to last so much until we started talking. And I realized that the plan was not lasting for 1 week anymore. And then it was a challenge. So now I had to top it up. So the thing is, for us, it was every day. We had work, of course. So when we're at work, we probably didn't talk. But when she comes back from work, sometimes we can talk. We can even sleep and leave the video on. So just, that thing that people do. So you can just leave the video on. Oh, you're sleeping, I'm sleeping. Okay, let's leave the video on small. Let's be invested. Let's be invested in MTN. So, but then there were other times that maybe I'm at work, she can call me at work. I'm sitting down writing a proposal. I'll probably just leave the video there, or I'm having a conversation. I'll just keep her by the side, especially when she's not at work. So I think it was frequent. Why? Because it was a distant relationship. We had to make sure that the communication was top notch. Because if the communication was not top notch, it could be challenging. So we needed to bridge the gap in any way we can, right? We needed to, I can't even go to say that I could be in church, for instance, and sometimes I'm like, they're preaching something really nice. Let me put you on call so she would hear. When I go for concerts, I'll be there. It was weird at some point anyway. So I'm like, hey, baby, we're doing video call. It was weird and childish. But this is the things you have to do. I think my government teacher would say, you have to go the extra mile. Sometimes in long distance relationship, you have to go the extra mile.
My relationship was a long distance relationship. It was because my husband being a sailor, my one was worse because sometimes there's not even network or signal on sea to reach the person that you say you are dating. You will just stay like this. Should be the day you see network and you see at least you had the opportunity of MTN, you call as you like. My own is even with your data, or you have Wi-Fi, you have battery, or it doesn't have network wherever it is. You will just wait. The day that call comes is like Christmas for you. You are excited and you don't even want it to go. And the moment you say, okay, babe, I need to go now walk. Oh God. It's like till when again? So long distance relationship, it's you need to have a mind of your own. And then social media, did it really, because there was no constant network on his part, so I don't think we really, the only thing we used our social media platform to do was communicate with the little time we had. So sometimes I'll just send things, but you don't know when he's going to come and respond. I was not worried because I knew he was on sea. Shey, where he was, he's not inside the water. You already know where he is, so you're not even thinking, "Ah, where did he go to? He's not picking, he's not responding." You know that he's on sea. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can. I was even more concerned about him being worried about me. Like, okay, are you sure I'm actually waiting for you? Like, I'm on land, or my phone is ringing anytime. Anybody can call me. I can move. But you, I know you're on sea. You cannot go anywhere. Is that water that you stay till you get up? You get. So I think it was more of his part. When he even got back, I asked him, like, it was like, I didn't give him any reasons to doubt. So he didn't even think about it, because sometimes the thought of this is what keeps the person actually going.
Mm.
You start putting those small doubts in it, even if there was nothing to even worry about. You have now started creating one because social media, sorry, long distance thing could be very dicey, because first, the time difference.
Mm.
That one is a major thing again. When there's time difference, there's no network, and then there's some days, okay, my first relationship, I was quite young. This was not even long distance. This one now is even within Nigeria. I got admission into the university, and then you are in Uyo and you are in Lagos. I'm in classes, I'm not taking your calls. Next thing, where are you? Da 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 da. I'm like, oh God, this is it's not abroad long. They are long distance, and there's over the road or short trip distance relationship, just short trip distance, and you're already flaming hot and cold. I think the only thing social media did was sometimes I'd send, yes, increase your expectations. Trust me.
Mm.
Sometimes I'll just look for one video of maybe when, this funny video, or maybe it's coming back from sea, bring me flower, it will lift me up at the airport. You just sit in your head and create some kind of beautiful pictures and things, but it is not. The day I finally came back from sea, your guy was tired. He said, "You just want to sleep." You never, do you understand? So yes, it creates this whole expectation. It makes you look forward to seeing the person. Yes.
Anyone has anything to contribute before we? Okay, Chizoba.
I don't think I've spoken in a long while. I had some network disruptions. So I think social media creates unrealistic expectations. Okay, first of all, anybody in a long distance relationship knows that it costs money. To date someone long distance, it costs money, it costs time and your energy and commitment and all of that. So let's assume, because on social media it's all picture perfect, we are trying to paint the perfect picture and pepper our enemies. So let's assume someone maybe posts, my boyfriend flew all the way from Denver to Nigeria. I just told him I had a headache and he had to fly down. He didn't even wait. You that is in a long distance relationship, maybe you're in Port Harcourt and your boyfriend is at Lagos. In your mind, you'll be like, wait, so I've been dating this my boyfriend for 9 months. We've not even not even he has not made arrangements to come down to Port Harcourt to come and see me. But look at Denver to where Warri or wherever it is, or Lagos, just because she had headache or just because she had malaria. What is all this? Now
No
my
be man
own
with this.
different.
No be man with this.
What is this? And then also there is this pressure as well, from people that are in short distance, really, what can I say, people that are closer together. Yes. So let's assume now a lady posts, my boyfriend made me lunch and brought to my office. Your boyfriend, you that is reading the post, your boyfriend is at Lagos, you are in Port Harcourt, he didn't even order you food. Let's assume he couldn't bring lunch to you, he did not even place
Kind
an
of
order.
alternative means,
And
yeah.
then you see the pressure building up. It's creating unrealistic expectations. Maybe it's very possible that your boyfriend is not having the financial capacity to do all these wonderful things for you. And maybe these ones, their boyfriends could do that, or maybe they are just lying. We may never know. So you, in your mind, you know, you're already feeling that, oh, your partner is inadequate. Look at what other people's partners are doing for them. Then
God,
is it my own
am
now
I a
that
twin stick?
so, you start to project the negative feelings you have on your partner, even things that wouldn't cause issues. You know, you discover that, oh, you're now quarreling with this your boyfriend almost every day and all of that. They experience pepper body, and then the relationship starts gradually dying. Except you're this conscious and self-aware person that can always pick yourself up and tell yourself, I know I'm overreacting to this. I shouldn't, you talk to yourself and come back on track. Except that, if not, I mean, social media has just succeeded in ruining that beautiful thing you had with someone. So that's, yeah.
There are some things I see or read about, and I would not blame the party. Like that, when someone does something, right? I would not blame the other party. I will blame you for condoning. You see, that's the thing. You long distance does not happen, long distance does not happen. It depends on the person. If you're dating someone who is mature, someone who is wise. For instance, when I was dating my wife, I had that problem too. Because as an officer, how much do I have? You get what I'm saying? So I could not do these pararampa kind of things. Even to send flower to her was very expensive. to send flower, because you get what I'm saying. But then I was lucky. At least she never made a big deal out of it. It's funny that there are certain things that if she wasn't the person she was, the relationship would have not matured to marriage. There were things that we had to overlook in each other. There were things, trust issues, spending issues. So I think one is that you meet someone on social media or that you do not meet someone on social media, it does not matter. There are things we look out for in a partner. Whether you met this person off Facebook or you met this person off Instagram, in the course of conversation, I think except people who don't have real conversation that gets to the core of knowing who people are. So what do you talk about? I think that's the problem. So if I'm dating you for 1 year, what are we talking about? You can be so fine and it's bomb I'm looking at all the time. And then all of a sudden you now behave in such irrational way. And I'm like, me and you. So I think that's the problem. I think people should understand the fact that it does not matter where you met anybody. Facebook, to go, Instagram, Zoom. Ensure that the same criteria you have for meeting people physically, engage them in proper conversation. Know what their value is. What is their belief system? What kind of people? I think that should be the foundation. It's not that I'm dating you because you are fine and you have breasts, and one day you go on social media and embarrass me. I've said my own.
Oh, yeah. The pararan thing you said, and then she's like, oh, if my boyfriend or my partner doesn't do this, sometimes it's the picture social media paints. Do you know how long these people have dated? And maybe in these years, the guy has not even given her cake or handkerchief as a birthday gift because the girl did not post all the years of loyal and good understanding. The word they use now is understanding girlfriend. She didn't post the years of being an understanding girlfriend, and because she finally decides to post the pararan one, is that pararan one that is your own. No, you want pararan, you do not want to go through. So, like you said, social media paints the picture. Like you said, what I post is up to you, whatever you want to believe. So let him or her be looking for pararan there. I'm forgetting that this girl did not get pararan on her first birthday with her partner.
Let's weigh the pros and cons when it comes to finding true love online versus the traditional dating methods.
Do you mean the one that used to find wife? What's the traditional? The one who will find wife or husband for you from the village. That's the traditional method. I think you meet people for different reasons and different platforms. You might be thinking you meet true love in the old traditional method. You go and meet a ritualist. I think you meet, yeah.
Wow.
Let's say you meet online that you would think.
Can I please? Can I also say that it depends on what you're looking for, right?
Mhm.
Because most times, I'm telling you the truth, a man will get to a point where he's so sick and tired of being sick and tired, and then you understand that you see beauty here. Beauty is important, but I think it should not always be on top of the list. I think that is the reason why we have problem. I'm not talking about just for the women, for the female, also for the male too. You see good looks. That's why people just keep making mistakes. Because you assume that good looks, now when it comes to the points a man should have, good looks come first. And then when it comes first, you forget that the whole good look, if it does not sit comfortably on a good character and on a firm foundation, you find out that it is. So I think for me, having this, when I'm on this social media, this media conversation helps me to get to know you at the core. Beauty is there. Don't forget also that beauty and attractiveness might not always come together. Someone can still be beautiful and eventually sexual compatibility becomes an issue. So that also is there. But I think if we get to a point where at least let's have conversations enough to understand if we're compatible at the core. And I think that's what conversation would do. I think when that happens, beauty, everybody's beautiful. It depends on who is looking. So people might not be beautiful in the way that every other person is looking at it. But then to you, they might be so beautiful that they are the most beautiful, that you consider them the most beautiful girl in the entire world. Even if they go for a competition, they'll probably come last. But then that's not really the important thing. I think key conversations is important. Knowing if at the core you guys are compatible is good before the physical beauty. Because the thing also is that this physical leads to physical most times. And I also believe that you see this thing called sex. Sex is one good reason why people don't make good decisions. Because if you allow a woman or a man to show you how good they are in the other room, every other thing about you, see, your brain will be on a pause. You will not consider every other thing. You see, bedroom, styles, anytime you meet, you want to exploit different sex positions. And that's what a lot of people think that is what builds this relationship. But I think at the core, that's when they forget the conversation and they really getting intimate to understand if they're compatible mind-wise. Sorry, I know I took so long to say this. It's fine.
No worries at all. I also think that this online dating, whatever, all these apps, they make these things too easy, too free for people. So like the traditional method, for instance, where you have to write letters or you have to, go to post office, drop whatever envelope to say, this is to this person's home. Even then, there wasn't even a mobile phone. It was landline. So it's not like you're going to be texting somebody through a mobile phone. So you're going to call, and when the person's dad or mom picks the phone, you hang up because no, that kind of thing. So I think, to me, the old ways provided some level of sanity, some responsibilities, and it's then we the millennial. I mean, I don't know if anyone is Gen Z here. Oh, there's a Gen Z here. Okay, good. So back in the day, mobile phone came. Was it not? When was mobile phone introduced in Nigeria? Like this internet, that was early 2000, right?
2000.
Around that time. So prior to that, you would have a meeting point. Like you have to trek from your home to one junction or one place where you people have identified as a meeting point to talk about anything, even if you just see yourselves and say bye bye and go back. All right. You had to work for it. People were more responsible, and people wouldn't just, I'm not saying that bad relationships didn't exist then. Of course, there were loads of them, but it's just the efforts people put into getting what they want. And you wouldn't want to waste your time writing all those letters and doing all those things, posting, all that, climbing mountains and all that just for nothing. So people were much more intentional. Unlike now, online dating app, you can sit in your toilet with your phone and you'll be swiping fine girls and fine boys on your phone. You can even message up to 15, 20 of them at the same time, telling them the same stories. Just copy and paste all the message on all of them. So
Oh no, the message.
don't be swiping. So the F is just too easy now. And that's why people can easily discard someone that they're talking to you and you're not giving them the green light, like now. They just kick you out of the way and move to the next person. Why? Because it is very easy to get 20 people that will replace one person online. But in real life, it's not the case. In the old traditional method, is not, before you even get one person that will say, okay, I want to be with this person, you will sweat. You would have worked for it. You would have invested energy, effort, everything into it. So I think the dynamics are just, I don't know. Yeah, I would prefer the old ways, really, where when you finally get that, achieve or maybe woo the person and the person has now decided to date you, you feel like, yes, all my efforts have been crowned. You feel that you worked for it, that you made intentional efforts compared to now. Now everything are free.
Everybody is free. Okay, sorry. Am I the
No.
fact that you can 10 people, you now decide that is this one person. Some people agree to date people because they have not tried out other options. And that's why when you finally marry them, you now see other options. Then you forget you are married. Do you get what I'm saying? I think in this world of too many alternatives, that's why people are not consistent in relationships anymore. Like you said, you meet someone, he's this one, first relationship 1 week, this one 2 weeks. After all, there are various that we have different. No, people do 48 hours. It's funny, but it happens. People do relationships for 1 week. After 1 week, you find out that this guy is not what I wanted, or this girl is not what I wanted. You swipe to the next person. But in this time of multiple options, if you see one person, and you stick to that one person, that means you have discipline, and that discipline would be what will sustain you in the marriage itself. I think Chizoba wanted to say something.
Yeah, so for me, I think online dating, social media kind of dating has more cons than pros as it relates to traditional methods. So for traditional method, of course, you meet the person one-on-one, you get to see the person, you assess the person. Right off the bat, you know if you are attracted to this person because you're seeing the person physically, with or without makeup, and all of that. The person, you already know that, okay, the first step is already settled. And then you start with the second step. But if it's like online social media, whatever, your judgment of that person is based on whatever persona the person is putting out. So if the person is putting out, oh, this beautiful damsel in distress, filter laden photos everywhere, you're attracted to that. Then when you now see the person, you now say, this is not what I wanted, or this is not how I saw it. Exactly. The person may be so kind online, dropping kind comments here and there, and in your mind, you're like, wow, I've seen a wife. Oh. And then when you now meet with the person, well, I won't say it's not ideal because many people have met their life partners online, but I think it presents this laid back, laissez-faire attitude towards the relationship.